Welcome to another episode of Dynasty Pylon. My name is Martin. I'm here with my co-host Mark, and we have a Chicago Bears fan with us today.
Yeah.
And it is Tank Kramer, our producer, who's always
What
usually
is
there
up?
for us, but decided to come in. Why? Because we're talking about his team. So if we ever talk trash about it, he's got to defend him a little bit, right? So, So NFC North, Bears, Packers, Lions, good stuff, man. So
I mean, those are the only two teams that really matter.
well, I mean, the Vikings,
Packers and Bears.
I mean, it's kind of like what Mark was saying when we were in Vegas. That one guy, that one waiter, said they give you 2 free wins, right?
Yeah.
Was that in Vegas when we went?
Yeah,
okay.
we were at my aunt and my mom are both avid Vikings fans, and they were making fun of the waiter because he's wearing a Lions hat, and he goes, "Why are you hating on me? We give you 2 free wins a year."
Was that when we were at that pizza place?
No, it was when we were at breakfast one of the days.
Okay. What pizza place did we go? They have one in Chicago. Is it Grimaldino's? Well, what's the place you guys have in Chicago?
Giordano's.
That's the place.
Oh,
we have one
that's
here.
what it is. Yeah,
Big one.
Giordano's. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's where
we've
we had
had a
dinner.
little taste of the goodness, I guess.
Yeah, that one's good. See, I never had Giordano's outside of Chicago, so I don't know if it holds up. You know, that's like having New York pizza, like in LA. Like, is it gonna taste the same? Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know.
However, I don't know, Mark, if you know this, but if we're talking about pizza now that we're on the subject, though, we have a Grimaldi's or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have a Illuminati's, and that is a Chicago, I guess, owner who I guess apparently takes the water and through a filtration system here in Arizona and adds the right amount of chemical salt in it to equal the amount. And it was in the news. I hope they're still open because they opened like a year or two before 2020. So I hope they're still open. I haven't traveled that. It's closer to downtown. It's like on 19th Avenue and somewhere down there.
Out.
Yeah, it's Illuminati's. So it's
they're
pretty good.
In
But
Chicago, they're good. Yeah.
I guess
So he does it
chef,
to like replicate like the water in Chicago.
the water, yeah. So that they're using the dough and everything. So he's from out of
interesting.
Chicago. So I thought it was really
that's
cool
funny.
that they did that. I was really interested.
That is very
We tried
cool.
it out their opening week, so I liked it. It was really good, really really good. So, but yeah, so that's a little taste of Chicago that we have here in Arizona on this hot ass state that we have here. I think we're hitting up to the hundreds here pretty soon here. So
Yep.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
I'm
106 right now. 106 right now.
are you kidding? Oh my god.
Nope, dead serious.
yeah, dead serious.
106.
113, 115 is about average here during the summer days. So
horrible. It's 72 right now in Chicago, and it is
man, that is
comfy.
that is our
It
winter.
perfect.
Yeah, that's our
That
winter.
is our winter lunch hour.
That's your winter.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
but yeah, Tank, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Yeah, it's good to have
So
you.
for those on Facebook, you guys know who he is. But however, for those on YouTube are watching, so a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing fantasy football?
Oh man, I've been doing fantasy football since like 2005, I want to say.
Okay.
Actually, Alfredo was the one that got me into it initially when we worked together. And I think the first year I got second place, and then the second year I got first place. So everyone at my job was pretty pissed off that you guys were
Beginner's luck
winning.
crap.
Yeah,
I hate that.
they kept saying that, but I was like, yeah, but I'm always in the playoffs. Even still, now when I play with my friends, I'm always in the playoffs, kind of thing. I'm like, I call myself the LeBron James of the fantasy. Like I'm always second place. I'm always in the game but never win it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing for a while, and then actually when I met you this past season, through the Morning Spike, you showed me about Dynasty, and the more I look into it and stuff like that, the more I'm like, that's like fantasy is like the baby, toddler kindergarten, and the Dynasty is like, oh, this is where the big boys play. This is like,
Redraft
it's
is
hardcore.
There's
Redraft
nothing
is
wrong
fun,
with
but-
redraft. I'm not gonna I've done it for years. There's nothing wrong with it. Typically, that's what mainly people do. It's just like sometimes during the season, people get stressed out about it, and so they can only do it during the season. For me, I love it. It's fun. It's a little competition, but redraft leagues they usually end last week of football, second last week of football, and then that's it. We're Dynasty. It continues. It goes on throughout the whole year. I was just talking to one of my guys last night. Had both Drake and Jacobs last season, and now Drake is now traded to the Raiders. So now he's screwed and has both running backs. So now he's like, do I keep him? Do I trade him? And that's the sweet part of Dynasty. Like, you don't know what's going to happen in the NFL. And what if your guys leave to a different team? So it's kind of interesting. And then the draft picks aspect. So I'm glad you're here. You can definitely give us your output and your intakes of what you think about the Chicago Bears and your division specifically. So if we're going to have a little bit of Dynasty trades in here, you don't have to, say anything about it if you don't really feel comfortable about it, but me and Mark will take care of that. But definitely let's talk about the NFC North. So Mark usually picks the team, and then we just kind of roll from there. So which one you want to talk about first?
Well, want to talk about the Bears first, since we got Tank here?
Sure, man. Go ahead, open it up.
You want to save them for later?
I mean, we can save it for later. I know Brian's watching right now, and I knew he's at work. So
I know he was looking forward to this one.
Oh, this better be good.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna be listening for sure. So I know you got Marvin, Alfredo, and Brian out there. They're listening.
Yeah. So if you want, we can knock them out first, or start with the Packers, because apparently these guys hate them so much.
All right. Okay, we'll go with the Packers first then.
Okay. All right, go ahead, open up. I'm gonna pull up their stats real quick.
So we're gonna start off with the Packers draft picks. With the first pick, they got a cornerback, Eric Stokes. We all know how stoked Aaron Rodgers was for that.
That was so corny, but I love it, dude. God, dude.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
Got the dad jokes.
Then in the second round, they got some offensive line help from Ohio State's Josh Myers. Then they got a good pick that I like, and I think Aaron Rodgers will like, Amari Rodgers out of Clemson. I think he'll be a decent receiver. And then their last picks are just kind of like offensive lineman, defensive lineman, corner. They went really offensive lineman and defense oriented, apparently, in the last half of the draft. And then free agency wise, we have not a lot. They re-signed Aaron Jones and signed cornerback Kevin King.
That's it?
That's it.
Why? I'm looking. I guess they just extended Robert Tanyan's.
Did they? Well, that's good.
Yeah, they
did. A few hours ago,
right, or something like that.
Well, they just had something come out that said he was like the top pass catcher of 2020.
Yeah.
He was like ranked number 3 of tight ends. I'm still not a big fan of him.
Mm.
I still need another year of what he just did to make me a believer.
But also, is he good because of Aaron Rodgers? I think the QB plays a big role.
Could definitely be argued.
But also, the only time, because I had him last season, the only time he did good is when Adams was gone.
Yeah.
So that I did not like.
That's true too.
I did not like that. So it was either I had a different tight end to play or it was him. So I was always in that. Well, whatever. I'll just throw one of them out there because both of them were about equal talent, but it just kind of sucked. Like for those Tunyon orders, that it was like, I don't know. If Adams is playing, if he's healthy, he's good. If not, well then throw him in because he was the only target at the time.
You're covering Tank's face up.
Oh,
there we go. There he is.
I was supposed to take that off. My bad.
I literally just looked down and I was like, "Oh wait, where'd he go?"
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, I'm not. I remember we saw Amari Rodgers in the Senior Bowl.
Yep.
And he didn't do too bad. I'm actually excited for that. He's actually pretty good. I hope that Rodgers stays there. I know Tank doesn't want to hear that, but he's been there his whole career. I think he'll stay there. I think they'll like talk to him like, hey, dude, like he's not in a situation where Watson is completely done, Julio's completely done. I think there's some wiggle room. There's still some wiggle room to keep him there. There is. Know that Brian's watching. I know He doesn't want him there. But
they have to fire the GM. He'll come right back through those doors.
Well, yeah, but I honestly, in my eyes, I still see Rodgers playing another season there.
For sure.
Unfortunately,
because there's no way they're trading him.
Well,
there's
at least
no
one because he's under contract for sure. I don't.
Well, even if they did trade him, what would you think you'd get for him? Not a first.
You'll get 2 to 3 first, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I could see 2 for sure.
He's up in age, man.
All of the projected trades I saw had most teams giving up 3 firsts. The only team that wasn't 3 first was Washington, which was 2 first and Sweat, which I'm not sure I'm willing to give that up for Rodgers.
Montez? No, really?
Yeah, Montez Sweat. Yeah, I was like, that basically is 3 first-round picks because he was a first.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree. That isn't he
30? But he's also Aaron Rodgers. You know, I mean,
well, that's the thing. You're trading 3 first-round picks to know for sure you're going to win now.
Yeah.
You would have to be in a win-now situation.
Well, we'll say if Tampa Bay, for whatever reason, they're like, all right, this is our last year with Brady. He's done. You can easily plug and chug Aaron Rodgers in Tampa Bay and continue that happy little streak that they got going on down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even in like they goes to Denver. You know, I know Brian's big into that. That would instantly change what that team is all about.
Oh, with that defense, do you have Aaron Rodgers? Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, so I mean, he's got age, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. You know, and that's the thing. So he's got that arm. He's got just the whole mentality.
Yeah, and it's not like he's coming off of a bum season either. He just won the MVP, so clearly
he's coming from a pissed off season. I mean, the way it ended, he's pissed.
Going into this season, he might be just as pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I don't want him here because he's going to be so mad. And he's out for blood. You know, and especially
I can't take it up on them, but I can take it out on these teams I'm playing.
Yeah, but especially if people are like, "Oh, this is your new guy in Chicago, Justin Fields. He's the new, you know, QB of the NFC North. You know, he's gonna show him, you know, why he's still Aaron Rodgers. So he's scary, man. He's a scary QB.
I mean, I see an aspect of like if he still plays past like his 40s, like Tom Brady, of course, if he's still healthy, like and all that.
Yeah,
I just see like maybe a conditional first, a conditional second that could potentially be a first, kind of sort of what the Colts did with Philly. You know, if he plays a certain amount of games or if he wins a certain amount of games, it'll turn into
nowhere near on the level of Aaron Rodgers.
I understand that. But
Wentz does have the years available to still be good, I guess.
I mean, I'm just taking the years into a fact that, like, if you even trade for Watson and Rodgers or something, that definitely, you know, there's that age gap. Then maybe a couple more first. Like, but I don't know. I honestly, though, overall, I still see him playing there overall. The Packers are. I just don't see him anywhere else. It'd be really weird to see him anywhere else, and I think he'll just stick it out. Because that's where he's
but how many quarterbacks ended their career somewhere else? Joe Montana.
Peyton Manning.
I'm sorry. Did someone just say? Yeah. Was that someone in the background? I'm sorry. Saying go back.
Oh yeah, my mom was yelling. My whole family is over here right now. So.
Oh. No. So they got somewhat a decent, easy schedule at the beginning. Niners might give them a little punch in the mouth, but other than that, I think the Bears might be somewhat of a struggle there. When depending on who's QB there, I think you guys talked about this. Our other guys on the Grizzly Panda show, they talked about this game for sure. But then I know that Washington game's going to be.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, circle that one. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah. That one's going to be good. I think the Cardinals are going to be good. I mean,
look at that.
They potentially go like 5-0 potentially, and then 6-0 maybe 5-1. This is that these right here that Bears week. Mm-hmm. After these are a little bit like 4 games, kind of difficult games potentially, but then it kind of simmers down at the Seahawks, Vikings, Rams. We don't know their situation, see if their chemistry is good. And then it ends off pretty well again. with the last 2 games of the season. So they could easily go, 500. So,
I think if they don't, that would be
assuming that Rodgers is still there, though.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's high on Love. You think if Love took over, 500 would still be.
But what's crazy is Love hasn't even taken a snap at all.
I know.
Which
is old school right there.
Definitely, and it kind of scares me though. And I really hope to see him in preseason because a player's talent is different from practice from it is to the game. So Love if he gets some snaps, I would love to see that. I would love to see Love. That's all I gotta say. But we'll see how that goes.
If they decide to put Love in to give him some experience, like how pissed off is Rodgers going to be?
Well, he's got to play even if regardless.
Well, I don't think he'd be that pissed off
during the season.
Oh, during the season, maybe. I was like, preseason, he'd probably take all the reps you want. I'm old.
Oh, yeah.
I want to take some time off.
Well, at that point, it's probably going to come down to an injury.
Yeah. Oh, the regular season? Yeah, it's like
regular season. I don't think they'll
or if they do like the Chiefs did like 3 years ago when they rested their starters and then Patrick Mahomes just came in and lit it up in that last game of the year.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we can get rid of Alex Smith now." This guy just threw for 500 yards with the secondary team.
But I mean, with their run game, though, I think they're going to do pretty good. I think 1-2 punch with both sauce. AJ Dillon, the sauce, man. The sauce and freaking Jones, and we all know how good he is. And which is crazy. I don't know if you've done any mock drafts lately, Mark, but his ADP is dropping miraculously. It's like almost second or third round. Yes. So I thought that was really interesting to see someone of that caliber, and I think it may be because the fact that it's a mock draft dynasty. It's not like a redraft, but he's falling in dynasty leagues. But he's going down to a 3rd round, 4th round, which is very interesting to see because we're used to him going in the 1st, or 2nd. So that's saying a little something. Kind of makes you wonder maybe because typically after they get their 2nd contract, a lot of these running backs don't produce as well. Look at Zeke, but then you can't really blame him either. But he has fallen a little bit, not too much. Yeah. So,
well, he's going to be 27 this year, so that's usually the downfall of running backs.
Jones.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
He's already that old.
But then didn't he come
he's
in?
20. He's I think he. No. Yeah, I think he was like 22 when he was drafted.
Yeah. So. We'll see how it plays. I hope them the best. Well, at least them for those managers for fantasy purposes. For Tank, I'm not going to wish him the best because I know they'll just run all over your asses. But
hopefully, you don't want the best. You want the sauce to take over.
Oh yeah, I don't think I'll ever drop the sauce, man.
You want the sauce rounds. To take over.
I love that guy. Look, I'm telling you, he's going to be a dangerous man. Say what?
You got him late in the late.
In our dynasty draft, I took him like super late. I
got him and Gibson.
I traded him. Wow. Actually, I'm sorry.
Gibson you got in the late rounds.
In the late rounds, I got Gibson in the later rounds, expecting him not to play. But I traded for AJ Dillon. I gave up a 5th round pick and Williams, the receiver out of Chargers.
And then what other running back did you trade for too? This guy.
No, that was it. Well, later in the season, I got Dobbins.
Yeah, and then he got Dobbins, who's the RB1 in freaking Baltimore.
He didn't do a bad job.
I traded Joe Mixon for so as IDP linebackers were involved. The initial trade for Dobbins was Joe Mixon for my I think it was just Joe Mixon alone for Deion Jones, linebacker out of Atlanta. I think that was just a cherry on top. But the reason I smashed accept was J.K. Dobbins, hands down. J.K. Dobbins, and then Philip Lindsay was kind of like, okay, that RB2, RB3 guy, and he was doing pretty good at the beginning of the season. And Deion Jones was that cherry on top. I hit accept like right away, and then Joe Mixon is gone for like the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I did pretty good there. But yeah, I got an extra linebacker out of it, so it was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah. So for sure, I got the better deal out of that. But
heck yeah, dude.
I would say so.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the Packers, AJ Dillon was actually one of the guys I actually traded for.
Yeah.
Gave up a fifth and Mike Williams. But
well, one thing I think it came out today where I saw that he named his quads on his legs because they are pretty massive. So he said one quad is the Quad Father, and then the other quad is Quadzilla. So both of his legs have names, and he tweeted this.
For AJ Dillon?
AJ Dillon, yeah.
Oh Lord.
And well, he plans to sell merch. I mean, this guy's got a plan. So yeah,
he's making a brand, man. He's making a brand.
Quadzilla and Quadfather,
and the sauce.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean those legs are.
If you check out his Instagram, he'll have applesauce every now and then. Yeah, it's pretty funny, and he likes the Mott's applesauce. Yeah, so that's what they called him in college, and then I guess it kind of produced into. Like it'll get better within his time. Now the only guy he's got to beat is Saquon Barkley in his quads, and another guy.
Mike Adams for the Falcons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His legs are huge.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big he was.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I like this. And now since we're talking about guys and legs and their thighs, crap. Can you? Hello. My mic went out, didn't it? Can you hear me?
No. Yeah, we can hear you.
That's weird. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, we were talking about guys and thighs and legs. It's just weird. I guess another big thigh running back coming in is Javonte Williams out of Denver.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's pretty big. If you haven't seen him, he's I think he's going to take over that backfield in Denver. But that's for another show.
That's for the AFC West show.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that soon. I think when I get back, actually.
Yeah, I think that's the first one when you get back. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do any like position breakdowns?
Like closer to the season. Yeah, I figured we'll do that when everyone starts to the redraft guys get in and start doing their actual picks and stuff. We're gonna do something like that too. So, Mark, you want to do the Bears now? Since you want to do that earlier.
Well, then we're saving them for last.
Oh, my bad. Sure. Your show, man. Ish. Coming soon.
All right. We'll do the Detroit Lions. Of course, their biggest acquisition was getting rid of Matthew Stafford. Bringing in Jared Goff. Of course, they got a couple first-round picks for it. They got Jamal Williams, who was the backup in Green Bay. 2 years, $7.5 million. Then we got receiver Terrell Williams, Rashard Perryman went to Detroit. I had no idea. Defensive end Romeo Okawara, defensive tackle Michael Brockers, and kicker Randy Bullock. What happened to Prater? Is he gone? He was in Detroit, wasn't he?
I think so. I'm having troubles pulling it all up right now. I had it ready to go, and then I lost. But
and then we got the draft, and where the Bengals decided to not pick him up, Detroit did. They got Penny Sewell with their first pick. I think that was a really good
and that pick was amazing.
Yeah,
that dude just fell in their lap. Man.
Right,
I'm not gonna lie.
Right,
like that, you couldn't ask for a better pick than that, dude.
Motor City Campbell was pumped for that.
Yeah, did you watch the clip when they drafted him?
Yeah, he was.
They were hopping along.
Yeah, they were
Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, they were like
as happy as
like hugging each other.
My god, I don't think
they were like, I can't believe we got him.
Yeah, I couldn't think I could ever seen a more happier draft room than I ever. It was pretty funny.
And then they got a defensive tackle out of Washington with their second pick, Levi Ons. I can't even pronounce that last name.
Let me see. I think I have
Anna was Zurich.
I'm more.
Who are we talking about? Round
two. Round two.
I don't think I have it shared though.
Yeah, round two. Levi, Anna were Urich. No,
wasn't that
sorry for
mispronouncing or something like that?
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's not a way to pronunciate it next to it, so.
Yeah,
No.
you need the
And you're covering Frank Tank's face again.
God damn it. I'm not used to having a third person.
No, I was like, I think that's
Weird.
what it is.
Usually there's nobody there in that corner.
And then with their third round pick, they got Lim McNeil from North Carolina State.
Another defensive tackle. Yep.
Another defensive tackle. And then they got cornerback, receiver, linebacker, running back. Nothing really jumping out at me.
I mean, the only one, okay, even the NBC Sports even has it highlighted. Amon-Ra St. Brown out of USC. Who played on the opposite. What's up?
Was that the receiver?
Yeah. Played on opposite side of Michael Pittman, and I remember watching some of those clips. He's actually pretty good. He's a decent receiver. I think the fact that he's on the Lions, he's going to definitely be worth something. He could be a late round sleeper pick for sure. I think so. But keep an eye out for him. If you're like getting closer to your later rounds, I definitely would probably try and pick him up.
Who do they even have as receivers? They lost both their top two.
They lost a lot of them. They have Quintus Cephas.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's probably going to be their number one, huh?
More than likely.
Because they lost both
Kenny Golladay
and Marvin. Sanu.
And they haven't re-signed Danny Amendola yet either. So you're definitely looking at. Wow. So you're definitely looking at T.J. Hawkinson as their number one, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Quintus Cephas as their number one, number two receiver, cast patching guy, and maybe Javonte Williams with Swift. So I think we'll see a lot of Swift and a lot of Williams kind of sharing some time.
Hawkinson's going to be a nice pickup for tight end.
Oh yeah, definitely. I wouldn't imagine if he's definitely going to be one of the top 3, top 4 guys that goes drafted for sure.
Someone has to have him in our league.
Yeah, someone does.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I already checked.
I'm going to keep an eye on that if they drop him.
Yeah, I mean you can try and trade for him.
Tight end.
Going to get rid of it.
Man, yeah, I'm looking at their depth chart, and their wide receiver depth chart is not. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, you brought him up, and then I was like, they signed somebody. And I was like, wait a minute, who do they even have? I was like, I don't even know who the receivers are.
Yeah, I mean, their tight end is going to be their main guy, I think, and Swift. I mean, that's all. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
They lost Marvin Jones as well, too.
Poor Goff.
They got him a line. He has a decent line.
That's true.
Again,
that's true.
Yeah.
He'll have all day to throw it, and he's going to need it.
So I guess it's good for Swift and Williams. And so I don't know how deep of like college guys you went into, Mark. I know you and I kind of go deep into that, but I don't know. Like, did you search Jamar Jefferson at all when you're doing any of the research?
Oh, I did not, but you were telling me about him.
He was actually pretty good out of Oregon. I'm surprised they got him in the 7th. I was actually hoping he would have landed somewhere else, Falcons, but he didn't. So it is what it is. But I think if they use a three horse back there, that'd be pretty interesting to see him back there because they don't even have Kerryon Johnson anymore. Kerryon Johnson is pretty much gone. So
yeah.
I don't think he's going to do any. Didn't he sign somewhere? Kerryon Johnson went somewhere else.
Oh, someone picked him up on waivers.
Was it the Eagles or Miami?
Philly.
Yeah, I think it is Philly. Yeah,
he's no threat, dude. He's no threat. Miles Sanders all day, every day. So, but let's look into their schedule. It's pretty easy, I would assume, just because they're not that good. But the first starters they have Niners.
You want to bring it up?
Damn it. Thanks, man.
I'm here. I could probably help out with that now.
I can
actually. Mark.
Oh,
now,
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, I can actually.
So they from the get-go, it's probably a loss to the 49ers. And they got Packers.
Then Ravens.
Probably another loss. The Bears, another loss.
Hey,
Vikings,
17th,
tend a little
the
bit.
17th. That's their first win. Calling it.
Against the
17th of
Bungles.
October.
I don't know, man. I don't think they'll win that one either. I really don't. No, I don't think
That's
so.
the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals will pull one through. And then, dude, they're not going to win jack. And
Are they going to go 0-17? Are they going to be the first team?
they'll win against someone. Someone that, like, I'm going to guess towards the back end of the season, someone's going to get hurt, a key player, and then the Lions will somehow.
For being a last place team, they certainly don't have a very favorable schedule.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah,
maybe the
schedule.
Maybe the Falcons.
Maybe the Falcons.
Yeah.
I was thinking Broncos,
Falcons, Seahawks.
but Broncos got that defense that are just going to destroy.
Yeah.
Destroy that offense, man.
It's not looking too hot, boys. No. Sorry, Lions fans.
Lord. That's
they are looking at the good thing about this though is all those first round draft picks they picked up. So this could have been like their planning all along.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that they knew the schedule when the trade happened, but the way it looks like those first are going to look mighty fine when they get to next year's draft. I can't remember how many draft picks, but I know they got a handful of firsts. So 2 at minimum.
I'm looking at their over-under, the Vegas odds. They are ranked 31st. There's only the Houston Texans
they don't play the Texans though. They don't play,
but they're the only team that's under them. They're at 5 wins for Vegas odds. Houston's at 4.5.
Really?
Well, yeah. So Detroit's 5 wins, and that's definitely an under. I don't see them winning 5. 2, I can maybe give them 2, but 5, I don't know.
So here's
maybe
the real question:
if injuries, that's rough.
Would Houston win or the Lions win? Obviously, they're not playing against each other, but if you simulate it and threw it up on Madden, who do you think would win?
I would probably go Detroit.
Or who's quarterbacking the Houston Texans?
Exactly. That's the biggest. That's the biggest issue.
If Deshaun Watson's playing, I'm going.
No,
he's not. Yeah.
We'll save that for that episode, I guess.
Wasn't it Davis Mills? Oh no, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
Tyrod Taylor.
But they signed another running back.
Did they?
Houston? The Texans.
Jesus,
they signed Rex Burkhead.
Oh my god!
Oh, that just happened today, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's all they need.
Yeah. Me and my brother-in-law were like, "Are they just going to run a Wildcat?"
Yeah,
because they have like 4 or 5 running backs.
Yeah, dude. It's like I think they'll probably just rotate. They'll rotate. I think you know what's going to happen. Those 4 guys are going to like the coach will tell them the play, and then they'll just go out there, give a high five to the running back coming out, and then the running back will call out the play.
But they're going to need to alternate because they're all old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram, Rex Burkhead, David Johnson.
Every down.
Bring out Frank Gore.
I think Ingram's number 1. I think
trade for Frank Gore, Houston.
Yeah.
I think Philip Lindsay's going to take over all those guys.
Oh, that's right. Philip Lindsay's the 4th one. I was like, who's the 4th one?
Oh my god.
I think that's going to be Philip Lindsay's backfield. I think he's going to outrun all.
Philip Lindsay's your youngest running back. I think you have issues.
Well, David Johnson's broken. Ingram's not the same. No. Rex Burkhead's only useful for pass catching. And then Lindsay is the youngest guy who's probably the fastest guy there. So I don't see anybody out producing Lindsay. And we saw how well he did in the last 2 seasons before they decided to bring in Melvin in. And then even then when he was there before the turf toe. But we're getting too deep into the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I know. But that's because it's easy. Holy moly.
Yeah.
But I mean, this thing Detroit
the Vikings have
is what happened?
Oh, I was pulling up the next thing for the Vikings. And they had like 10 picks.
Oh, geez. I
was like, holy moly.
Oh, man. But yeah, 5 wins. That's rough.
So I actually have. All right. So we did the Lions. We had the Packers. I don't have any ones for that, but I actually have a dynasty trade. We'll do that after we do the Bears and after we do the Vikings. So we'll do.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had those. We just skipped over to the next team.
I did. Well, I only had a couple of them. One of them is actually very hilarious. He actually gave me permission to show it because it was actually pretty funny, and I'm surprised he pulled it off. You'll have a good laugh about that one. But we'll jump into who do we got next? The Vikings, right?
Yes, Vikings.
Yeah, we'll do Vikings draft picks and schedule for now. So go ahead and
all right. So with their first pick, the Vikings were able to get the second best left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, out of Virginia Tech, with the 23rd pick. As crazy as that is.
I'm surprised he fell that low, dude.
Yeah. Then you have to go all the way to the third round for their next pick. And this is a guy that me and you kind of liked. Is the MVP of the Senior Bowl, Kellen Mond, quarterback of the Texas A&M.
Yes.
I think he has potential to replace Cousins, but that's just
definitely.
Me.
I actually enjoyed watching him in the Senior Bowl, and I would not be surprised if he's starting next season.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then with their other third-round pick, they got Chaz Surratt, North Carolina, linebacker. Then with their third-round pick,
about Chaz. Hold on. It's a funny thing about Chaz now that you brought him up. He used to be a quarterback.
Really?
Yes.
In high school?
No, in college. I think I think he transferred or something like that. And then they asked him if he wanted to play linebacker because of his size. And he said, sure, why not? I'm not getting any reps here. But then he excelled there, and then he actually did. He outproduced the starters and did a lot better. So, yeah, go on.
There you go. Sorry. Four third-round picks, 3 fourth-round picks.
Jeez.
2 fifth-round, a sixth, and a first. That's crazy. But then they got running back at Ohio State, Ken. I'm not gonna be. I'm so bad at names.
Kenny Nwangu, running back.
Yeah.
Probably never sniffed the field.
No, not with Cook.
No, and then don't they have no? Henderson's gone now, isn't he? Henderson went somewhere else. Dude, he might actually see some playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did Henderson go? Or Anderson. Damn it. I can't think of his run backup. Was it Henderson? It's not Alexander something. Madison.
Oh, Madison.
Alexander Madison. Jeez.
I think he's still there.
Is he? I'll have to look at it, but I know he's. Well, we'll see.
The thing for my free agencies.
What was that?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay, all right.
The only people they lost were Rudolph, Riley Ref.
Yeah, let me look at this.
Anthony Harris, who went to the Eagles.
Yeah, Madison's still there.
Yeah, Madison's still there. So he wants to.
But the biggest. But yeah, go ahead. So.
And then the free agent signings that they had were Dalvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle, because I don't know why, but they love to take defensive tackles from the Giants. They've done like three times now, I think. Stephen Weatherly, Mason Cole, Nick Virgil, not a half bad linebacker, but I think the one they let go was probably better.
You're not talking about Ngakoue, is it?
Huh?
Ngakoue they let last season.
No, he's the linebacker. Nick Virgil.
Oh, my bad.
They let Eric Wilson, I think his name was. They let him go.
Okay.
And then Patrick Peterson.
Yep, there you go. That's the main one. That was the main one. I was actually with him in linebacker. What's it? Eric
Anthony Barr.
Well, Anthony Barr.
Eric.
I don't know why. I remember his first name. I don't know what his last name.
Henderson.
Henderson. Yes. Yeah. I can't be
the middle linebacker. Yeah, he's really
weird. I know his first name, but it doesn't know last name. I'm on a first name basis with that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. First name basis.
But
he's gonna be on the show next week.
He did really good. He did really good. He stepped up because someone else got hurt who was there. He stepped up and he just monster tackles. And IDP leagues tackles are like king, surprisingly. So It was really interesting to see how well he did and stepped up. He was basically the freaking face of that defense. So, but it was kind of cool. I hope he's going to be pretty good. I think he landed like top 10 in our league from last season. I actually have him. I just picked him up on free agency, and hopefully we'll see if I get him again. I don't know. I might have to drop him, unfortunately, but we'll see. But yeah, I think now that we're on the Vikings, and Dalvin Cook just got his contract renewal last season, correct?
I think he's in line for one, actually.
No, I think they redid it or something like that. I'm not too sure, but
I thought he was still on his rookie year or his rookie contract.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they redid
he's a
it.
First rounder, he would have been on his. He would have had a 5th-year option,
potentially. But look, I'm used to him getting hurt. Last season was the first season where he actually
rookie year he tore his ACL.
Yeah, and then he got hurt the following year. This year I thought he was going to get hurt again. I stay away from him. I just don't trust someone who's going to get hurt constantly. Like Saquon, I'm out. Even though I like the guy, out. Cook, I'm out. And it's just like it takes them 2-3 years to actually finally produce something and then actually redo like an actually good season like last season. Now, do we see Cook redo that again? I don't think so.
No.
And for what is he, 26, 27, you said? 25. I don't know. I can't even remember. I don't even know.
I think he's like 25.
Do you think that we see a downfall after this season? Would you trade Dalvin Cook? Because you know how like the shelf life of Dalvin Cook or running backs typically.
He'll be 26 in August.
Okay.
Oh man. Yeah.
So he could potentially be on that last year ish of producing something because typically they fall down at 27, 28. So as a dynasty manager, Mark, if like I know you don't have
this is his 5th-year option this year.
Okay. So would you trade him away?
Going into this year?
After this year. Or go I think you would get more value going into this year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I probably would, yes.
Now would you trade 3 firsts for him?
Ooh.
Would I trade 3 firsts for him? No.
What?
You're in your championship week and you're contending. Or not championship week, but you're going to the playoffs. You know he's still there. He's still healthy. Would you trade 3 firsts for him? At that point. Week 13, 14.
So I'm the team getting rid of him and bringing in 3 firsts?
No, you're bringing him in.
You're giving up the 3 first rounds.
No.
You know you have a good chance of winning the belt or trophy or ring or cash or whatever your league does or whoever's league.
I wouldn't give up 3 firsts for him.
And he's healthy?
What about 2 firsts?
That's pushing it too. I give up 1.
You'd give up 1. Just 1 and what?
Maybe 1 and something else. Or another running back, maybe.
Okay.
That doesn't seem too steep a price.
Okay.
Especially if he's doing what he did last year. Maybe 2 firsts. But that would be the absolute max.
All right. Well, maybe his schedule will help you make that decision if you know you're going into playoffs week 14.
That depends if you're going to put it 15. Up on the screen or not.
I'm putting it in soon. All right. Give me a chance here.
With you,
so
Alfredo said Taylor.
Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we were talking about Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see it until just now. Oh yeah, 6:44. Like 10 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago. So schedule.
So the schedule. Let's see. We have the Cards, Seahawks, Browns, Lions, Panthers. Okay.
Well, real quick before we get too much into the schedule, I wanted to ask. So the rumor came out this week. Not the rumor, but the information came out this week is that the Bears pretty much stole Justin Fields from the Vikings. That they offered a trade to the Panthers.
Yes, I heard about that.
and they had this big blockbuster kind of like trade, and they were gonna sneak up high enough to either get Justin Fields or Rashawn Slater, and obviously they probably would have went with Fields. And
the Panthers said no.
Yeah, say get out of here with that.
Really?
So
no, I didn't hear that. But
how much of a big difference would that have had changed? Justin throwing to probably the Smith, the wide receiver they picked up. Like he's considered like the steal of the draft from most places, and you still have JJ. So and then Justin Fields, like he would instantly get the job without even trying.
Probably
him thrown to like a two young wide receivers that are arguably going to be amazing in the league. I mean, how much would that team have been different if the Panthers did the trade and they got Fields? I mean,
it would be a really good. I mean,
you're talking about the 5th round pick they had, Emir Smith Morset?
Yeah,
out of Iowa.
A lot of
did get a great A,
like the steal. Yeah. So.
Well, just because
I think
he's an elite player. Like I think he's going to be a special type of player, regardless of what or whoever drafted, wherever he went. Because honestly, I thought he was going to go 49ers. But that was just me. I mean, no matter Fields, we'll get into in a little bit, but he's a special type of guy. Yeah. And I'm really happy that the Bears have him. I'm really happy that you guys can now build around him. I think the Bears can now finally have longer future plans rather than constantly making these short-term plans as they did with Andy Dalton, because you guys weren't sure if you guys were going to get a QB. And then Fields dropped all the way down to you guys. You guys made it happen by trading up to get him, but I will talk about that more into the Bears.
But it was just I think the Vikings were getting ready for that. They were going to be where the Bears are. Like, here's a guy we're going to rebuild. We're going to build everything around. We already have the weapon. Now we got this guy, but the protection, is still the big issue out in Viking territory. The O-line.
If Fields landed there,
they got the. Oh, that's true. I guess if they got Fields, they wouldn't have gotten the tackle.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But I think it had Fields gone there. How crazy, like Tank said, like how crazy would that be? You're throwing to Thielen, JJ, Irv Smith, and then you got Dalvin Cook back there, and also Smith or Fields can run himself. So had he land there, that would have been a crazy offense to try and get around. But Christian Darrisaw is not a bad pick. I like that for them. So, but we'll get into their schedule right now. So we have the Cards freaking opening, or wait, it's not the opening.
No.
Is that not preseason?
Cards is number 2.
Cards number 2. Bengals. I just can't
is
see
the first
preseason
one
right now. It usually typically shows me preseason.
Yeah.
So, Bengals, Cards, Seahawks. It could be a win, maybe a loss. I'm not sure right off the bat. Seahawks, Browns, Lions, Panthers, Cowboys, Raiders. So it's kind of 50-50.
Ravens,
Yeah.
Chargers,
Packers,
49ers, Rams.
I think getting Cardinals early in the season, you might be able to get them off guard before they really kind of get the ball rolling over there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's still maybe, because the Cards might just hit the ground running.
Right.
Too. But, I mean, it's definitely 50-50.
I mean, I don't see them definitely at a losing schedule because there's a lot of easy teams in here too. So I don't see the Steelers having a really good defense to stop what they have, or the Lions. So it's going to come down to the individual division games, with Packers and Bears. So
usually what happens with the North.
Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting season for them, but it's going to be 50-50. I don't know Is there anything else you wanted to say about them before we get more into?
Well, the only thing I think the biggest thing about the Vikings is Mike Zimmerman going to be able to like make that defense good again. I think that's the last 2 or 3 years. The biggest difference is like their defense just hasn't been what their defense usually does. Like when you look at when they were making the playoffs and stuff, like it was because their defense was leading them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then,
but the defense really fell off hard.
Yeah, and this year even more. So I feel
but I think
the
they got some key assets.
On, like 40 points on them in both games. I think.
I mean, with the key assets that they got, though, I think it's gonna help out a little bit. I mean, they trade up for Patrick Jones, the end out of Pittsburgh, or something like that in the 3rd round, or was it the Ravens traded up? I can't remember, but they had
Patrick Jones.
Yeah, Patrick Jones.
Yeah, from Pittsburgh. Yeah, Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'm just saying, you look at their schedule, especially playing the North. Those defenses are going to eat their offense alive.
That's true.
If they give up 17 points to the Browns, Ravens, or Steelers, the game's over.
Yeah.
It's just.
I don't see it happening though. They're gonna. A lot of these games, I think, for the Vikings are going to be very, very, very close. Because they're also one team that doesn't just fall on their backs either. Like I've always seen them even last season. They didn't. I think there was like a couple of games that they got destroyed, right? But not entirely 2 lot.
No, they were in most of their games.
So with the addition of Patrick Peterson coming in, I think that's going to definitely help out. And then with Xavier Woods, didn't they get him too?
Did they?
I think so.
Safety?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The Cowboys, former Cowboy, yeah.
Yeah, DB there. I'm actually looking forward to what linebacker Chaz Surratt, dude, for North Carolina. That guy's pretty good. A lot of people aren't going to know him, but you'll definitely see his name for sure.
And then also, I mean, I'm not saying he can play to that ability of Aaron Rodgers, but supposedly there's a situation brewing with Cousins. Apparently he wasn't happy with the Mon drafting.
So you think he's going to play angry?
So he might be angry and just come out like 400 yards.
Play like he did in Washington?
400 yards. You never played like that in Washington. Come on.
Well, wasn't there that one game where he just came back out of there was one specific game.
Where he had the soundbite? You like that? You like that?
Yeah, that one.
Because they said because at the half they were like, it's over.
That's the Cousins.
And then he brought him back.
That Cousins. That we might.
He was like it at the camera. He's like, you like that?
Like when you think of like
that Cousins might show up.
And wasn't it against the Vikings? I think it was. I think it was against the Vikings.
Oh, he was saying it towards McNabb because McNabb was the one who was saying it was over. Donovan McNabb was like the broadcaster or whatever. And he's like, "You like that?"
Whenever like you think of Aaron Rodgers getting mad, you think of like Hail Marys and like these crazy.
Oh, I know,
passes.
right?
But then when you think of Kirk Cousins getting mad, I just see like a 5-year-old like no, like just getting like angry, stomping on the ground. Like that's a different mad thing. But no, I mean, but that when he did that over in Washington, I remember that was kind of like really pumped up the team kind of moment.
Yeah.
So I can't say it's all that.
Didn't pump it up enough, or it'll still be there.
Yeah.
All right, so since we just got off the Vikings, I have a dynasty trade that actually happened with Dalvin Cook. So in Dynasty League, you can trade all year. Someone just got. I just asked this guy actually not too long ago. Thank you, Josh. But it was he sent off Dalvin Cook for J.K. Dobbins.
The heck?
A first and a second for a 2022 first and a 22 second.
So he got Dobbins a first and a second for Cook
for next year. So essentially next season he's going to have in his rookie draft or draft however they play it, he's going to have 4 elite, 2 first rounds and 2 second, assuming he still has his first and second. But he traded off Dalvin Cook, assuming that he's going to have a good season. I think this is a good trade for me, I personally think it's a good trade. Yes, you're giving away Dalvin Cook, but how much longer can Dalvin Cook actually do this in a dynasty league? Yeah. You're trading years for Dobbins, and you're getting a first and a second.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot considering Dobbins is an RB1.
Right, but then he's probably not going to get as much touchdowns as Dalvin Cook, though. Because there's the Lamar aspect and the Edwards aspect of there.
Yeah. That's if Cook stays healthy.
Right.
And we know in the past. Big question, yeah.
That was last season was the outlier.
Is that a Washington fan there?
It seems so. It seems so, yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, hey.
Yeah, it seems so, yeah. But yeah, so what do you think about this trade? I like it. I know some people didn't. When I was looking at the comments, some people were like, keep Cook. He's going to have a stellar year. Keep Dobbins, or go with the Dobbins, go with the Cook year. So, I mean, as a dynasty manager, what do you think on this? I personally.
And you're saying that the guy getting rid of Cook already has like a competing lineup? Is that what you're saying?
If he did, well, then you could take that into factor. So if you're contending this season, you would want the Cook trade.
Yeah.
But if you're not,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if Cook was like the only real player he had, I mean, I think this sets him up for the future perfectly. You're bringing in 2 extra draft picks, and you're getting a guy who I think will be pretty elite in the future, if not this upcoming year.
Right. And then if Lamar goes down, that's Dobbins all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But again,
even last year, I mean, I can't speak for Dynasty, but in the regular redraft, I had Dobbins, and I picked him up late, you know, and because I didn't think he was going to do well, and he did pretty well, you know. So even with having, you know, another running back there with, you know Lamar Jackson, Dobbins can perform, and he's not injury prone, which is kind of important.
As of we know of. He has
as of we know of. Yeah.
He didn't only play this past year, but I mean, he never once seemed to get hurt. So
yeah.
I mean, just take Cook's rookie year.
Yeah. So what side would you take?
I like the Dobbins first round, second round. I do.
Okay. Now I know, Tank, you're not really familiar with Dynasty. If you have somewhat of an idea.
But I mean, it's still like a trade kind of thing. I mean, you're throwing in the rounds, which isn't too difficult to get. But I mean, it's not bad. I mean, because if Cook has a good year, because Jay Clark would get Cooks, right? He's getting Cooks. So Washington Skins is getting rid of Cook, or they're getting Cook?
No, he's getting rid of Cook.
He
actually made this trade, and he's getting Dobbins first and second.
Okay, so Jay
he's
Clark
gonna have
is getting
first if he still has his first round. He's gonna.
Yeah,
have
I think it's good. Yeah, because if Jay Clark needs like a really killer running back, this is a way to go. But it's a big risk. That is a big, in my eyes, I think that's a big risk. But it could be.
Let's hope he has other running backs.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, I thought it was interesting. But you're right. You're right.
Too bad, but big risk, big reward kind of idea. I think going in right now.
What's what I'm saying?
Could be
if Washington Skins is like only missing a running back. Like, I already have Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and all this stuff. All I need is this guy. And if Cook plays like he did this past year, I mean, it's worth it, I guess, to give that up for a championship.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're all on the.
So I think it's an even trade both ways, I think.
Depending if you're contending or not. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the rest of their rosters. So.
Right. But I mean, I guess we're all in the same agreement. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Dynasty definitely changes the output, especially when you have IDP players in there. But IDP gets closer to the season, more IDP players actually get involved into the trading aspects because defense is harder to judge because you can't really like most leagues you're in. You got they give out the actual app gives a rating of saying like, yeah, it's green, they get like color codes. Green is good. He's going to have a good week. IDP, they don't do that. So, yeah, it's all grayed out. So it's a little bit harder. But the way I look at it is if the quarterback sucks and the line sucks, I'll play all my defensive players against that guy. And you'll probably more likely rack up a sack or some forced fumble or something like that, depending on how or who they're playing. So it's a little bit different. So, all right. So we will finish it off. Brian, if you're still watching, hopefully I know you're a little angry there for some reason. Probably the Aaron Rodgers take. I assume the Aaron Rodgers take that we said. That's probably why he's angry. But we are getting into the Bears, and this is Tank's now. Okay, so yeah. Now the moment I've been waiting for. Yeah, he's probably at work in his office looking at this. So again, we brought Tank here with us. He's a Bears fan. Give his little insight. If we trash on them too much, Tank will defend them in any way capable possible. But I think we're all in agreement that we kind of like what they did with the draft. So go ahead and shoot it off, Mark.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with their free agencies now that you built up the draft.
Well, I mean,
they signed Andy Dalton to a 1-year deal. Big move. They got Damian Williams, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize they signed Damian Williams, former Chief. Franchise tagged Allen Robinson. Brought in tackle Jermaine FD. Jeremiah, and then
go ahead.
I don't know.
Do you know who that is? I don't know who that is.
Tank. Huh?
Which one?
Jermaine FD?
Yeah, Jermaine FD. Tackle.
No, I have no clue who that is.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
No, he's a free agent. It doesn't say where he was signed from.
No, they picked him up off. Because I know the one Washington, I believe, one of their linemen.
Just recent, right?
Yeah, recent. I can't think of his dang name right now.
Morgan Moses?
That was one. Yeah. But he's also seen a few other teams, so it's not like.
Is he visiting? That'd be really weird if you pick up him after you picked up your guy.
I know.
we'll just traded.
I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
They picked up Mario Edwards. I didn't realize they got him. Not a bad pickup.
Yeah.
And then Desmond Trufant.
Bad. I know going in, a lot of you Bears fans were pissed off. The whole Fuller situation and then getting Dalton. You essentially just got rid of Fuller for Dalton is what it seems. So they might hear you. Right tackle played with us.
From Seattle.
Oh, he said from Seattle. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He was a guard who moved to tackle. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. So that's Brian Waller, guys. He's
Brian knows his Bears stuff. Him and Marvin, man. When I hear them talk about on the Band of Grizzly.
That was actually yesterday's show. Check them out. Stuff. They're on the Nerd Huddle.
There you go.
Nerd Huddle right there, just before us. We're Thursdays. Wednesdays is all Chicago's. If you want to check them out, it's all Chicago. So if you're a Bears fan, check them out. If you're not a Bears fan, still check them out. Maybe you can disagree and then trash talk on their chat. Totally up to you. But yeah. And then tomorrow, Tank is doing his what I dubbed the BS show. You talk whatever the heck you want, right?
I think we're going to try to talk about some NBA stuff. I'm going to get one of my buddies who's big into the NBA.
All right, sweet. So and then Sunday I'm with the Nerd Huddle with you on Sundays, and your movie film on Monday. So kind of get that out of the way now that Brian is commenting, and just kind of give him a little props and transition to that. So yeah, check out the Nerd Huddle. Besides our channel, they're good group of guys over in Chicago. So, but yeah, so as we were showing the Bears.
And then I was just going to say, lastly, they did addition by subtraction. They got rid of Mitchell Trubisky. He's now backing up Josh Allen in Buffalo.
That's where he belongs as a backup, though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where he belongs,
moving on to their draft, though, I think they had a pretty good draft. They had Justin Fields. They traded up to the 11th pick to get Justin Fields out of Ohio State. They got Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State, which got a grade of an A+. That's a good pickup.
Because he fell to them. I'm surprised he fell
that was
low.
I think all of us were surprised, like when we were
second
watching
round,
it,
39th.
Holy crap, dude.
But then they didn't have another pick till the 5th round, where they got another offensive lineman, Larry Borum out of Missouri, Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech, the running back. You know him, Martin?
No.
I was like, you seem to know all the running backs. So
well, after
and
Puka
receivers.
Williams, it was kind of like a big downfall from there.
Khalil
Herbert, like, he didn't really impress me at all. I think I saw something of him, and then after that, I didn't care. Like, he was like, look, Chicago's gonna it's gonna be tough for the run game. Montgomery's good-ish, in my opinion. A lot of people defend that he's good. I need to see more. Towards the back end of the season, it was an easy schedule. And Tank, you could defend this if you want after I say my little segment about it. But towards the end of the back end of the season, Chicago had a pretty easy schedule, and this is why Montgomery did so well. Now, had they flipped their schedule, we had the easy teams at first and the harder teams at the beginning, would have we have seen the same Montgomery? I'm not too sure. Would have Cohen taken some of those? Would have eaten into some of them carries? I don't know. This is why I'm not convinced that he's going to do as well as he did last season towards the back end. I still need more. Because his rookie year, they didn't seem to utilize him as what you guys projected to draft him for.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a big question mark right off the bat for me. But again, you're a Bears fan, Tank. You can definitely say or agree or disagree or however you want it. Brian, if you're listening, you can trash talk. You probably already are. So yeah.
I forgot which one of
the running back, Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, I forgot which Morning Spike guy said that, like, Montgomery was gonna have a crazy, like, I think it was Marvin. He was saying it was gonna have like a 1,200 yard season. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if there's a season to have a good year, it's probably this season. You know, their O-line really got a nice beefy O-line that knows their stuff. The quarterback situation is just going to help the running back situation, you know. So the better the quarterback can play, the better the running back can play. So I don't know. I don't think he's the greatest.
And is that because of the line, or do you think it's because of the QB?
A little bit of both, you know, because if the QB can throw the ball and if the QBs can do stuff, then you're not just expecting like, oh, it's just going to be a run game the entire time. Like the Bears had that situation with Matt Forte. It's like, well, Jay Cutler ain't going to air it out to anybody because he don't have enough time. So you're just going to hand it off to Matt Forte, you know? And luckily he was skilled enough to get some decent work. But yeah, I mean, if Montgomery were to play like back then, he would get destroyed. What is it? I think it had more to do with, was that Musfire moving to center, white hair guard than the competition.
I'm just laughing because I think one of us were constantly.
I think it was me and you.
Oh, was you two? Yeah.
I was
like, oh, I could put the comment over here, and then every time I would click on it, it would just disappear. Yeah. I was like, or maybe I won't. And then I look over at Martin. I'm like, oh, I think Martin's trying to do it.
I'm so used to me doing it, and now that you have like a little bit.
I know. I was like, ooh.
It's all good, man. So what was you saying?
You got the power trying to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you saying? Brian said, you read it off, right? Or think he had more to do with Mustafire moving the center white hair guard than competition.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because O-line is so important.
Is that your lineman?
To everything. I don't.
I'm not sure with your guys' line.
Oh man, everything's so changed up so much now. The biggest thing is always the guy who causes the most issues, which for us was Leno. You know, so I think once
who's no longer there, right?
Who's no longer there? Yeah, he is gone.
So he's in Washington now. So yay.
Yeah. So yeah, white hair center.
I remember. Actually, Tank was the one who said you can have that. What was it? Piece of crap or garbage or what? You said that a couple.
I was joking around. I mean, he I think over there he's gonna be a little bit better. You know, over here I don't know. if it was just too much, because the defenses over here are like pretty hardcore. I guess over there as well, but I don't know. He was just things in Chicago have a very like microscope on you. So once you mess up, it's hard to get out of that zone of being known as the person who messes up. Because they pile it on you. Once you mess up, you just keep messing up, even if you don't do anything. Like, look at the way he's sitting on the bench. Can you believe that? Man. That's Chicago. That's just Chicago.
That sucks because then it could really affect the player.
It really does, 100%. 100%.
So would you think that throwing Fields in early in the season is a good idea?
Well, I was gonna say that. No. So week 1, Andy Dalton.
Yeah. For sure.
I would say Andy Dalton.
When do you think Fields sees the field? Huh. No pun intended.
49ers.
49ers?
I mean, I would like to see him kind of bench the whole season. I doubt that's going to happen, but I think that would be the best move.
I would love if he started against 49ers because then that would prove you guys messed up on not taking Fields.
I think garbage is garbage no matter what.
No. I'm just saying, like if because the Niners passed up on him and they took Trey Lance, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I think it's talking about the O-line.
If Fields, well, yeah, but I'm saying like it just overall consensus they actually
that'd be definitely entertaining.
Go to Chicago.
Yeah, that'll definitely be entertaining if anything, because I know NFL executives gotta be in the ears of these teams. Like, hey, it'll be really good to see like these two guys kind of go at it. So
yeah,
I know they would love it.
Potentially another like years from now, since you guys were harped on the whole Mahomes things for years, this could be actually your turn to actually harp on the Niners for not taking Fields. I'm still shocked about that, by the way. I still think Fields should have went Niners. I'm bummed about that, but as a dynasty manager, only because I have Brandon Ayuk, and I was actually really excited. I would have easily taken Fields in the first, and then I would be double points all day, baby. Fields to Ayuk, but I mean, it is what it is. But as the whole running game, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult because some of these defenses, man. I mean, you got Rams, Bengals, not so much of. They made some moves, but it's nothing too scary yet.
Oh, we got the Buccaneers.
The Browns, disgusting. You guys aren't going to. Nobody's going to.
Steelers, Ravens, Browns.
Yeah. I just, and then it's going to be interesting to see how well you guys can actually do without Mitchell Trubisky, which I'm really happy that he's no longer there as well.
Yeah, because now he's not a starter, man. He's not a starter. That's why I never got all the hype, man. When people were like, "Start him." I'm like, why? He's not ready. And then they did. He never. Yeah, and that's the thing is like he never was. At least you didn't give him a chance to even get ready. It was just like he came out with this like really big attitude. He's like, "I'm good. I know I'm good. I'm good." And he had like a good first game out against a shitty team, and then it just kind of like his true colors kind of showed, and then ever since then it was just kind of like I'm like, and I don't want them to make the same mistake with Fields. I was like, you have Andy Dalton, use him, and let Fields kind of sit on the sideline for as much as possible.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
The whole year,
let Dalton get beat up for a year.
Yeah,
and the next season get upgrade on the line or something.
Yeah, let the O-line kind of mesh right now. Let them figure out how to play pretty good, because Andy Dalton isn't like gonna change the game of the quarterback. I mean, he's a very cut and dry kind of quarterback kind of player,
right? Right.
So that's I think a good player to have in the backfield or to have behind you for the O-line to work it out all the kinks, and then next year throw Fields out there, But I know Jenkins is like excited. He's like, yeah, he goes. Yeah. He said something along like they're ready to play together already. It's like, which I like to hear stuff like that when rookies come in. They're like, we're gonna fucking dominate. We're the new guys. We're gonna be the best. And I was like, I want to hear that, not just from the QB, but from all like the rookies, like that. Like when Jenkins and like is talking for Fields, I'm like, man, that's like, I love when O lines they just like hype up their QB. That is, man, that's something that we haven't seen in Chicago in like forever. Like an O line like hyping up their QB. So it's usually like talking shit, like
Right.
QB. We hear the reports in the locker room and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean the running game, that's a whole nother issue. Montgomery, he's the second kind of guy. He's not a starter, but he's got to prove it this year. Like you said, this year's the year.
I mean, he's not bad. If he's going to be on my lineup, I wouldn't be mad. But I definitely
he's going to get the touches, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So for sure that. In recent news, though, just right here at practice, you guys lost your rookie, Newsome. Yeah. So I know he was probably receiver number 4, probably for you guys under Miller, Robinson, and Mooney. But out of North Carolina, he did pretty good. But unfortunately, he should. From what they're saying, he could be ready for the season. So nothing too.
That collarbone
bad.
Collarbone is risky.
Yeah. So again, he wasn't like a main.
Ask Tony Romo about a collarbone.
Yeah. There you go.
So, but other than that, though, I think I'm ready to definitely watch more, pay attention more to the Bears. Like I said, I was a Justin Fields fan. Watching him in college, the bowl games, just as much as I was a Josh Allen fan. And I feel like I was strong about Josh Allen coming in, and I was strong about Justin Fields coming in, and I think it's going to be really good for you guys to see. And I really hope that I see Mooney grow with him, and that could be a dynamic duo. And we could potentially see the next, like you see all these great elite QBs, receivers, duos grow up together.
Yeah,
I see Mooney and Fields being like that type, because Mooney is quick, man.
Yeah,
and he didn't play much last season, like enough to like get his name definitely out there. Wasn't towards the end of the season, but Mooney I think is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean they also got like Marquise Goodwin. I thought that was a pretty decent pickup. But I mean, just like Miller, Mooney, Robinson, that is a scary wide receiver. And then Kmet, I'm pretty excited about him. He went to like some tight end camp or some shit. I was reading, so like he's really like pushing himself. Like he wants to be, that high end kind of a tight end, which he's good. He had some problems. Hopefully he gets worked out. But
right.
Yeah,
Dalton has weapons.
Yes.
So I think maybe we see the old Dalton in the Bengals, like primetime Dalton.
That'd be nice.
I mean, but
the Red Rocket.
What?
The Red Rocket.
Yeah, the Red Rocket. Maybe. Potentially we see that. I mean, because he didn't have a line last season, and then he didn't have a line before that when towards the end of the year of the Bengals. So we might
Bengals
see
still don't
Dalton.
have a line, so not much has changed.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's arguably that they did something, but
there's also there's a good fire under Andy Dalton's ass. And it's not Nick Foles. Nick Foles is just sitting back and counting his money at this point, But
Dalton's going to play his best. This could potentially be his last season ever as a starter.
Yeah.
So he's gonna bring it.
If he wants one more good contract, he's got to play.
Yeah, he's going to bring
well
it
this year.
He's no Fitzmagic, but he's going to bring it, and I think he's going to play his best as much as his ability lets him. So we'll see. I expect good things.
Say that, but what if he shows up with like this huge beard?
And then
I'm down for that, man.
He's like Fitzmagic
with his jacket and his sunglasses. I'm like, oh, maybe he is Fitzmagic.
So yeah.
I like Fitzpatrick last year with the whole attitude. The playing was good enough. I liked his playing, but I like this whole attitude and everything. It was just like
I love that guy. I'm so loving where he's landed, and then he got Curtis Samuel. I know we already covered Washington, but the fact that here's a special chemistry that just like with that move, Curtis Samuel going there. Do you know Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin played together, right, in college for about 3 years? Yep. So
and they were roommates.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that right
really
there is
they said that going to the NFL, they would love to. They were like, our main goal is to try to get to play with each other.
Wow.
Yeah. So that definitely helped them make that decision to go to Washington. Yeah. So I love that. I love how they're going to Fitzmagic, and then if Taylor Heineke can stay healthy, if Fitzmagic goes down, Heineke's actually a really good player. Like what he did at Pittsburgh, I hope that he can produce more later on, but we'll see. But we already covered Washington, but just a little take on Washington. So, the Bears, I think they're going to do pretty good. Ish.
We'll see. I think. Well, they haven't had a losing season since Nagy came in. I know people hate Nagy, but it's like he's at least got a 500 season. Right? I mean,
his job's on the line too because
his job's on the line because he had very questionable decisions. Him and Ryan Pace, but Ryan Pace did this draft definitely bought himself some time. And what if Nagy could do anything good out on the field, he's definitely bought himself some time because now you're like, all right, no more excuses. Like you have everything you need right now. Ryan Pace did his job finally and got you good stuff. Now it's the coach's turn to produce, And
so looking at your schedule, what do you think the win cap needs to be for Nagy to keep his job?
He's gotta. I mean, the playoffs are definitely doable because they did it last year. The past couple of years without even. I don't want to say trying, but I think if they could have done better. With a good quarterback, I think they could have really crushed it. So I think it's going a little bit deeper into the playoffs. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but man, you got to get past that wild card week at the very least,
So you're saying if they don't make the playoffs, he's fired.
Yeah, they got to make the playoffs. They got to make the playoffs.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
I think that's going to be a hard task. That's a hard task to ask.
But. Because I'm like, you did it with Mitch, and granted, a lot of it relied on other teams not being as good as either. But now you're theoretically a better team than you are last 2 years. So I was like, you gotta have you gotta at the very least make it to the playoffs and not just the wild card.
I will say this: if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, then the door is wide open. I think except for Detroit. I even without Rodgers, Detroit's still not.
That's Detroit's 3 wins.
Detroit's still not making the playoffs, unfortunately. But I think if Rodgers doesn't come back, then either the Packers, Vikings, or Bears could all win the division.
Yeah,
it's literally open.
Yeah. Okay, but I think the Bears are gonna have a good run. I know that I think their odds are,
but they also have extra teams going into the playoffs this year, don't they?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that because now you have an extra week.
Yeah,
I don't know how that messes with everything.
Oh yeah.
There's only one team that has a bye now
from the actual playoffs now, right?
And there's 3 wild card teams now instead of 2. So 2 plays the worst, 3 plays the second worst, and then
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if we get an extra, maybe two, because last year we had extra week of playoffs, didn't we? No, it was the same.
No, it was the same.
If we get
they
that
just only had one team would get a bye
because they're going to have that extra
instead of 2
Saturday or Sunday. Didn't they play Saturday and Sunday?
They had 3 games on each
day.
Yeah.
So we just covered the Bears. Now I do have a Bears trade here, which involves Justin Fields, Jamar Chase in a second. Trevor Lawrence, Murray, and Thomas. So
if I was just looking at this, it'd be like pick the player that doesn't belong.
Murray.
These are all rookies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, Thomas too, I guess. But
but Thomas is one of which is a crazy season he had last season. It was he was hurt, and then when they declared he was healthy to come back, he decided to punch one of his teammates, and suspended him for another couple of weeks. And then I think he only played about 2-3 weeks towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
and then
tough.
So there is
like
that
you said,
second.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to get out of Thomas. Trust me, I had him last year. I was like, yeah, Michael Thomas, worst decision ever.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I said, as a dynasty owner, I would take the Fields Chase second side.
Yeah, I think I would too.
For that. Because if everything fails for me, I would just decide, okay, I could maybe potentially flip that second into something else and maybe get someone on the back end and see what I could get out of that, or even use it in the actual trade in the draft. Because next year's class supposedly is not going to be that great. So,
for everybody or just quarterback?
No, like in general, this next class. There's always that one class is just a slump. Next year is that slump. I think we got Sam Howell out of North Carolina, who's the best QB coming out, but that's just about it.
The QB out of Oklahoma is supposed to be good too.
And ASU.
ASU?
So, yeah.
That's nothing you hear every day.
No, it's not. But he's actually
what?
He's like 6'5", and he's pretty mobile. He's actually doing pretty good. So
that's funny.
But we'll
that's 6'5" and mobile. Lee.
Yeah,
that's another scary combination. Yeah.
So for me, I would.
Worried
but you
about
do have
Trevor
T-Law
Lawrence.
and Michael Thomas.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to do much this season.
No, considering he has DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, and then they brought in Marvin
most
Jones.
Most of this is based off of future.
Travis Etienne. James Robinson.
The only one that will have an impact this year, I think, is Michael Thomas in this whole trade.
Not Jamar Chase? You don't think Jamar Chase is going to do good?
No.
I think he's going to do because he's a play and chug and plug or whatever. You put him out there and he's going
to be hard for Burrow to throw the football from his back.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully he can just just throw it in the air and hope Chase.
Yeah, right. Just go get it.
But the line is slightly better. Yeah. It's slightly better, not a whole lot better. It's slightly better. So, what side do you pick right now?
Yeah, but the other problem is they're in a division where the other three teams have top 5 defenses.
Barely. Steelers aren't really.
Steelers are ranked 5.
They're declining though. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not.
They lost some.
They had the rankings come out. Steelers are 5, Ravens are 4, Browns are 3. Tampa Bay, then my team. Yeah. My team was ranked number 1. I was like, hey.
Oh, nice.
Well, good for you, man. So who are you taking here?
I'm going to go with the Fields Chase second round pick.
Okay.
Maybe because I had him last year, I'm kind of anti-Michael Thomas at the moment. It was horrible.
But
I think long term,
you're good.
I also think long term, Justin Fields will probably. No one except for Mark Brunell, when they first existed, has succeeded in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, I also agree with you. I think that Justin Fields chasing a second, definitely, like I said, you can definitely flip that second for something else. So,
yeah.
Do you want to give your intake on this, Tank?
No, I mean, I agree with both of you guys. I think Fields might not be anything this year. You know, if he does, I think he's going to be good, but he's definitely a long-term kind of guy. Chase is an immediate game changer. And then, like you said, the second round.
Right.
You know, you can definitely do stuff with that.
And then another fact that, so if this is like in a dynasty league, if your league allows it, you could throw both of those guys in the taxi squad and just leave them there all season and bust them out next season if you want. That's kind of interesting, Tank. So you have your original roster. It's not like an IR slide. It's what it's called as a taxi squad. You could put, depending on your league settings, you could either have up to 4-year type guys, sophomore years, third years, or rookies. Typically, you leave your rookies in there. You can leave them in there. You could add people to your taxi squad as much as you want up until week 1.
So basically, it's kind of like a practice squad.
Yeah, you look at it that way.
In the NFL.
But once you take them out and you put them in your roster and they're active, you can't put them back in until the following offseason, if and only if you have sophomore eligibility. So for me, I would take this Justin Fields, put him in the taxi squad, and then roll with whoever I have at the time. Unless the Bears roll him out later in the season, then you could take him out at that point. But then you'd have to cut one of your guys from this. So it's pretty interesting being in dynasty leagues. I kind of want to consider this eventually in our league. I know, unfortunately, we don't have it, but I think it's kind of interesting to see what you can utilize your taxi squad. So I agree. Fields, Chase. I think Chase is definitely going to be an elite player. I mean, in my opinion, but again, this is all predictions. We don't know anything yet. So, but then you never know if Joe B goes down. So,
yeah.
But
for all we know, Trevor Lawrence can come out and throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns next year.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I would love that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So here's a funny trade that so our guy here, Josh, let us see his Dalvin Cook trade. He also let me. He said, "Oh, also on your show, if you want, show this one as well, and you can use this one as 2, which is a very funny trade. And if you can see it, let you read that out loud, Mark."
Oh my God! This guy got Kyle. How?
How is that even
possible? I got Wentz for a 3rd-round pick.
Oh, jeez.
But this guy successfully got a 1st-round
Kyle
pick.
Pitts and oh my God.
Yep.
Maybe he knows something about Wentz that no one else knows.
Apparently. He must have really done some research to give that up.
But yeah, Josh was like, yeah, man, you could use this too. And basically show out.
Wow.
So I thought it was pretty funny. I'm like, how in the world did you land this? And it was... He jokingly said it was a skill, but I mean, we both know the other guy was just
not paying attention.
I don't know.
How many shots did he take before?
He probably woke up the next morning like, "Oh no, what did I do?"
It must be a Colts fan. I don't know. It must be a Colts fan.
Oh Lord!
All I know is our boy Josh is pretty happy.
I was like, right on.
I would be ecstatic for that too.
But yeah. So
hey, after our draft, if anybody wants Wentz, 1st round and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, man. So that is the NFC North. Any last words about what you want to say? Like I said, I don't think my last words for Dalvin Cook, this could be his last producing season. If you're out there, try and maybe see if you can flip him. He'll get him for a couple firsts. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. Yeah. But
I would do it now. Do it now rather than
before the season starts.
Waiting. Yeah.
I mean, if you're contending, do it. If you're not, then trade it. But yeah, we'll see. Anything else, Mark? Anything else?
No, the only thing I was going to say was there's a lot of similarities between your Bears and the Washington football team from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Drafted quarterback from Ohio State, brought in a veteran quarterback to lead it, a coach on his last year of his contract.
Who's the coach over there now? It's my God,
Rivera.
The Bears guy.
Yeah, Ron Rivera.
Yeah, and that's
John.
He's
isn't it John?
Ron
Rivera. Yeah, Ron Rivera.
He's still a legend out here in Chicago. I mean, people in Chicago still love him. I mean, no. I mean,
well, I can't say I hate the guy. One year, he's completely transformed our team.
Yeah, he's a great. And then the whole, I believe he had the cancer stuff.
Yep.
Which definitely rallies the team. You know what I mean? So that was super cool to see him, beat cancer and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's one reason too. I like Washington is I want to see Ron Rivera win. Because he deserves it. We should have won the Super Bowl, and just let Ron Rivera run the defense like he did all season. But then dumbass Lovie Smith is like, well, I think we should do this. I was like, you're an idiot, and you're the reason why we lost the Super Bowl. Fuck. Still mad at that.
There's a reason he's coaching at Illinois State now. So
exactly. What? I think he's done there too.
Did he? Oh, he might be. I don't know. I think
I could be wrong.
That's like the last place I know he coached.
Yeah, that's why I want to see Ron Rivera just do. But when he was with the Panthers, I enjoyed everything he did out there, and out in Washington.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely rooting for Washington. I like good stuff.
As am I. I love Washington. I mean, everything they've been doing.
Just 1 year. It's crazy to think that we're like a quarterback supposedly away from being a Super Bowl contender. When we were just
you guys were almost there. Like
3-13
Buccaneers, though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
would have changed it. Would have changed the whole thing. But I mean, I've been like I've liked them for a while, like just because like through you, Mark, like just the way they like you love them, and now you've been paying attention to them. But their assistant head coach, is it now a female? Is it Jennifer King? I know she's the running backs coach though.
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah, I think so.
So props to her, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Antonio Gibson wouldn't be as good as he is without her. So, I mean, shout out to her. But I don't know. There was a clip I just saw recently.
They made a big deal out of it in the playoff game, because the Buccaneers have a female coach too.
Yeah,
they're like, the first two female coaches to coach in playoff games.
I was watching the Washington OTAs, and you can see Gibson on the ladder, and she's got this big giant like foam arm, and she's just smacking the crap out of the running back, trying to fumble. I was like, man, that's a bad chick right there. She's just smacking him. It was pretty cool.
Must be working. I don't recall Gibson fumbling ever. So,
yeah. I mean, he's the man. I think he's going to be so good for fantasy. So good.
Oh yeah.
I think he's going to be one of the best. But I'm so glad I have him. But
for me personally, though, it's just weird because, like, I know, like, there's been certain defensive players that I've been excited to watch on the Washington football team, but like, just for the first time since I think I can remember following them, it's like we have a defense, like complete defense, that's like nasty, and I'm like, yeah. And they always say defense wins championships, so.
I think that's Ron Rivera.
And I don't disagree.
He knows how to build a defense, man, because he's good. He's good at that.
Yeah. Panthers had a decent one when he was there too.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly was there. That was one of his first picks. So yeah. But other than that, though, next week we're doing NFC South. So recap of the whole Super Bowl probably is gonna throw out.
I get Justin on the show for that one.
Yeah, if he's not busy, hopefully maybe
probably
we'll see what happens.
We'll try.
He has a very busy schedule. So but yeah, NFC South next week. Again, join Tank tomorrow on your show. What did you say you were gonna do tomorrow?
We're gonna try to do the NBA playoff kind of stuff. Because there's the playoffs, and then there's the fans losing their fucking shit, throwing popcorn at players, water bottles, running out on the court. Like what the hell is wrong with these fans? So hopefully, if I can get my buddy on, who's big into basketball, we'll probably do NBA playoffs. If not, maybe soon. But that's the hopeful plan for tomorrow.
Okay. Well, there it is. That's the Nerd Huddle. That's subscribe to them if you want a little mix of everything. And that is our show for tonight. So, again, that's NFC North for you. Bears, Packers, Lions, Vikings, all good. See how that division. All these divisions are all pretty fun. So, I can't wait till the season. And then the rookie drafts coming in, dynasties. So, as closer as we get. Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
When you're a guest,
when
you're a guest, you can't post comments.
What do you mean?
Like when I usually just sign in because you give me the link, I can look at the comments, but I can't actually post on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got all the power.
I know.
Yeah. Just little. Just don't go overboard, man. But yeah. So that is Dynasty Pylon. So good evening, good night, good morning, wherever the hell you're at watching this show. Tune in next week as we do NFC South, and that is it. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So long.
right when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. When I watch me elevate.